everybody, and welcome to another episode of Horror Movie Night. This week, I'm regretting that I didn't pick this in June for Pride Month, for starters. Real fumble here for this to be a late August pick of the summer, but whatever. We're here to talk about Seed of Chucky, easily, and I mean easily, the most divisive of this entire franchise. There are those who love it and think that it is ahead of its time, and there are others who point to it as the exact moment where everything went wrong for the Child's Play franchise. I am somewhere in the dead center on that, but how about you guys? Was this a first watch, one of many?
I must have seen it before. Right? Like there was, but I don't know. I remember big chunks of it, but then there's meat and potatoes that I don't remember. I just remember specific scenes. So I must have seen it at some point, but it's been probably since, I don't know, the late aughts, probably, that I've seen it.
How about you, Scott? First?
This is my first and last watch.
Okay.
I hated it. I went in thinking there's got to be a reason why I haven't ever watched this. And before anybody comes after me and says it's because I'm not an ally, fuck you, I am an ally, and I hate it because I am an ally. This movie starts off so strong because it's like, oh, wow, this is ahead of its time. It's 2004, and it's like very transpositive. But then the whole crux of the movie focuses on rape. Like, they rape Jennifer Tilly, and I cannot believe that there are people out there that don't see that.
Interesting. Perfect. Interesting perspective. Coming out with fire from Scott. I know that Jennifer Tilly had a lot to do in the writer's room. She pitched a ton of the different stuff that happened in this movie. I know specifically that on the commentary track, because I've listened to the commentary tracks to all these, Jennifer Tilly was the one that really put a lot of jokes in about me being overweight by Hollywood standards, put in a lot of jokes about people only caring about Bound and all the sex scenes in Bound, and put a lot of jokes in about my annoying voice. She was all on board for let's get as mean and meta about me as we possibly can with this script. Now, obviously, I don't think she was you should put a turkey baster in me for the pregnancy scene. I don't think that was a big pitch that she brought to the writer's room, if I had to guess. But let's dive in, shall we? We start with one of the worst remakes of Look Who's Talking I've ever seen, with Chucky's CGI sperm coming down the birth canal, creating a fetus, and then coming right back out the birth canal, bringing us to the very end of Bride of Chucky. And then we start with what I think is fantastic, this elaborate POV shot, all from the child of Chucky. We later find out named Shitface at this point. As they murder a family. And it features some really incredible moments, specifically this fall off of the banister shot. And we will get into... There's a lot of reference points throughout this movie. I know that... Dave Mancini, I want to say that's his last name. Don Mancini. Dave Mancini, I went to high school with.
I don't think he made this movie.
That's why I got confused. Don Mancini was very open to the obvious thing, which is the Glenn or Glenda reference. He was going for that Ed Wood reference there with when we eventually get to Shitface picking a normal name. Shitface basically... at this point in time, plays the role of a dummy to an abusive ventriloquist. And then we cut to Chucky and Jennifer. I keep writing Jennifer what I meant. Chucky and Tiffany, very important, killing a mall Santa that's walking around in the snow. And it's revealed that it's all part of a new movie.
Yeah, and that's also not just any mall Santa.
Who is this guy?
Meta, what's his name? His name is Jason Fleming. And I actually wrote him down. This was when I was totally into the vibe of the movie. My notes actually end basically in the John Waters last paparazzi scene, ironically. Maybe not ironically, but I do really like the fact that Jason Fleming had enough clout that they were in 2004, let's have Jason Fleming play himself playing a Santa who gets murdered on set, and then they refer to him by name.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
He's in
very
there,
odd.
and also the other person who's playing themselves in this is the special effects person is cast as himself. It's the actual special effects person from the Child's Play movies.
That's
playing
right. What is
himself,
Has it been the
getting
same
to kill
guy
himself.
for all of them, or was
Yeah,
it just
I guess
or
at
not
least
all of them.
Bride. Probably,
Yeah.
he looks young. There's no way he was for all of them. But yes, he's someone who had a relationship with Don and was like, all right, I can play myself for this. This is all revealed to be part of a new movie coming out called Chucky Goes Psycho, a telling of the infamous, 4 movies that we've already seen condensed into an original movie starring the lovely Jennifer Tilly. While there's a whole interview and a TV show about the making of this show, Shitface sees it and makes the connection that these must be my parents. And he escapes from the ventriloquist. Meanwhile, Jennifer Tilly is desperately trying to get her career back on track and decides to audition for Redman, who's preparing to make his directorial debut making a movie about the Virgin Mary. Which, I mean...
And also, why was Redman chosen? This movie feels like it's kind of like frozen in time in a really awkward way.
I think... So this is the other thing that I think is where this movie finds people kind of divisive on it is... And this kind of bothers me too when I watch it sometimes, is this is a movie about Hollywood written by a guy who's been within the Hollywood system for so long that it feels like it's just a tad too inside baseball. Like, it feels like this has to be a reference to something where he heard that some like random ass person was being pegged to direct like some movie that just felt way out of their element that never came to fruition.
Right.
And
Which
was
which technically as an outsider we do know happens. But
Yeah.
at the same time it's like it's just a little too in it. Like, I would
because
rather...
a lot of those movies never come to fruition, right? Like, it's like, unless
Yeah.
you were reading Entertainment Weekly in the 90s and
Right.
saw like a tiny little blurb that would be
Which
like...
that type of thing does not really happen anymore either. So that
No.
does feel a little bit of its time.
really dated, yeah.
Yeah.
But you would see those blurbs where it's like, Method Man is going to be making a kung fu movie, and then like next thing you know, it's like Method Man is executive producing the kung fu movie.
It just feels like somebody in a boardroom being like, "This is gonna go gangbusters with the youth." I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean,
not Redman in this movie, but rather the concept of Redman doing a movie of his own.
But you know what? I love Redman. Talk about a rapper that I'm always excited for when he shows
Whenever
up,
he
whether
pops
it's
up.
in a song or in a movie.
I
He just
have
seems
no
chill as fuck.
basis of reality with him. So I mean, like, or like reference for him. So tell me
I would
why
s-
he's cool.
I think the moment that everyone decided Redman was cool as fuck was his episode of Cribs.
His Cribs episode was amazing.
His Cribs
Yeah.
episode is iconic. So MTV Cribs at one point, was this big show where they would go to a celebrity's house and they would show you everything about it. And like reportedly, a lot of those were like houses people rent it, cars that people rent it just to seem lavish. Redman gave a tour of the apartment he was currently sharing with somebody else. and just was like, fuck it. This is what it looks like to make almost no money while being a somewhat famous rapper who's like living within your means. Like, he had trouble unlocking the screen door to get the camera crew in. There was like
Cup of Noodles was big if I remember correctly. Like, yeah, it was great because it's like it's a few things, right? It's also like, yeah, he's a touring like rapper, and we know this about lots of touring musicians, right? Like, they have to come back to a shithole apartment for 2 or 3 months and then go
before
back
they're
out
back on the road for 8,
right?
Like,
Particularly that time, right? And Redman was big, dude. Like, Redman was big. He was getting Get Ready to do like How High. Like, he was very much in the conversation. Of course, like, teamed up with Method Man, who had a little bit of a longer and larger career prior to that, but Redman was doing his own solo stuff, and then they got together, got bigger. It's just he's just funny.
He's just
funny
a
New
genuinely
Yorker.
funny dude. Like, anytime you hear him in an interview, you're like, oh, he's just like smart, quick-witted, fun. It's kind of like when you watch like old interviews with the Beatles where they just have a quip for every question. That's kind of like watching Redman get interviewed. He has some quick off the top of the head smart aleck comment to like a stupid question that you're just like, I just love this guy.
Yeah,
You
it was
heard it here
never
first,
really about the
listeners.
image.
Redman is as clever As the Beatles.
As the Beatles. Yep. I not the first nor the last time I'll compare Red Band to the Beatles. So Shitface makes it all the way to Hollywood, and he has a medallion that he found when he was first born, and he reads it out loud to the Chucky and Tiffany props that were reportedly remade from the corpses that they found at the scene of the crime. That's what I read somewhere. I don't remember that being established in the actual movie.
Yeah, that's news to me.
I don't recall that.
Yeah, but whatever. Sure. Of course they are. And that causes them to rise, and they discover that they have a child, to Chucky's shock and Tiffany's delight. Chucky and Tiffany murder a special effects man, who I said is playing himself, to Shitface's horror. When they see that Shitface doesn't have any genitalia, he's just smooth like a Barbie doll, they argue whether they should name their child Glenn or Glenda. Just then, Jennifer Tilly shows up, whom Tiffany is immediately enamored by as a lifelong fan. And when Jennifer Tilly finds the decapitated head and eventually realizes that it's not just a prop, she calls the police, and the trio of dolls escape through her limo. I do love this bit of the doll Tiffany, voiced by Jennifer Tilly, being the world's biggest Jennifer Tilly fan. Mm-hmm. She has that one line where she's like, listen to her voice. It's like an angel is speaking.
Yeah, that is a pretty good line.
That's the most, like, honestly, for the whole movie, that most successful part of it is the Jennifer Tilly of it all. Both her, literally, and as the character of herself, and as the, like, enamored subject of Tiffany. Like, I think she covers all of it for me, because I mean, as we go on, I think the Chucky stuff gets a little tired for me. Like, Tiffany.
Oh, you don't want Chucky masturbating?
I mean, I
Probably
was
not.
tired as I was trying to keep up with him, and it was really difficult.
Kyle, you don't know this about Kyle, but if someone's masturbating in a movie, Kyle tries to keep pace every time.
Yeah, it's just I do it for cinema. I do it for the love of cinema.
Oh, wow. Well,
Don't use that as a clip for anything, please.
You can't stop me, Kyle. You can't stop me. But yeah, we probably would lose
Can't stop
monetization
Chucky
for
either,
that.
apparently.
So, yeah, no. He is ready and willing.
And then at some point after that scene, when he comes out with the cup, I just go, "Oh, seed of Chucky." I was like, I finally get it.
Yeah. Not Shitface / Glenda.
Not Shitface. Yeah, that was also kind of the surprise for me, was that they were going to try to make more Seeds of Chucky. Now, real quick, Glenn, Glenda, Shitface, whatever you want to call them. Let's call them them, they, them. Those pronouns probably better, because it feels like they kind of vacillate between being a mama's girl, like a girl's girl, and wanting to be like, oh, I want to be a girl because that's what mom wants, and then they are like, I guess I'll be a boy like dad wants. But then they kind of, like, when they have their mental break later on, they dress up like Tiffany, and well, I guess they dress up like Jennifer Tilly. Well, Tiffany dressed up like Jennifer Tilly, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they ever really settle on. I don't know. Okay. As much as I shit on this movie in the first 3 minutes of this episode, I'm not the person to be making a value judgment about gender dysphoria, especially on a podcast where it's hosted by 3 cis white men. But
yes,
we're all totally aware that we have no right to make any sort of value judgment about that portion of this movie. But I'm sure that in 2004, this was validating for some people, and I'm not trying to take that away.
The moment when Shitface says, sometimes I feel like a boy and sometimes I feel like a girl, like, that is, as far as my recollection, outside of, like, weird indie queer cinema, probably one of the first times a mainstream film is even discussing gender fluidity, like, in any sense. So it's like, there are, as much as this movie really falls into a lot of the shitty mid-2000s tropes of horror movies, which were, like, real fucking heavy on shock humor and rape. There are things where it's like, yeah, but that also is equally as groundbreaking as how offensive and shocking the other things are. And I think that that's why it's so divisive. I think people look at it where it's like, if you went in this one direction, you would have this movie that is just hailed as so important. But unfortunately, there's all this messy bit in the center that doesn't make it as fun to watch. Like, this is definitely the one I watched the least of all the Child's Play movies, for sure. But I felt like, it's about time. We need to do it. Eventually, we're going to see all these fucking Chucky movies. Might as well start here so that we can get into the really good ones that came out later. The star of the movie, though.
Wait. Well, you think that listeners can't see, but Matt's making a cheeky fucking face.
Curse and Cult are delightful. Like, they're genuinely delightful films.
I remember liking Cult of Chucky. I don't remember.
I don't think I saw Curse.
Curse you liked a lot when we did it for Reddit Horror Club. That was the one that's almost like all in one house with the woman in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
I've seen
Actually,
Curse.
I think I liked Curse better than Cult.
Yeah, Cult's in the sane asylum where it's like a hive mind Chucky on the loose.
Yeah, no, you're right. Curse I did like a lot. And I even liked the reboot with the killer AI.
I love the reboot. I would put the reboot in my top 3 Child's Play movies, honestly.
We're doing all of them.
We're doing them
hilarious?
all. We've already done the reboot as an in theaters now. That was one of the rare in theaters now. Oh, we get to go back? Okay,
yeah.
I'm ready to go back.
What's funny, though, is to think about the fact that we're probably going to complete the Child's Play franchise before any other franchise.
Well, it depends on what you count a franchise, right? Because we've done all of Sleepaway Camp. We've wrapped those 3. Oh no, wait, we've never done Return. You might be right.
No, we've never done, and we haven't done 4. But that one's basically a clip showing.
I feel like
there's
for
a few
full
that we're close
coverage,
to closing.
if you're
out,
talking about like a coverage of a franchise, for the podcast amount of episodes that we're on, like 5. I think you have to count like a series of 5 films or more.
At least 5
would be. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, then
I don't
there's
know why
ones
I'm
that are
making
tough.
Rule, but
like,
it seems
like Nightmare on Elm Street. We haven't done Wes Craven's New Nightmare or the
we
original,
haven't done
but
New
also
Nightmare?
No, but also I'm like, are they too good for us to do Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
No,
and the
that
original?
doesn't matter anymore.
That's true. We did do the original Hellraiser. There's a couple. There's a few that we're real close. Hellraiser, I think we have 2 left, unless we are counting non Doug Bradley movies.
But if we're not gonna count non Doug Bradley movies, then we're not gonna watch Hellraiser 2022, which I liked a lot. But it's also going to be
we got to wait till 2030 to watch
by the time that one's available for us to discuss.
But yeah, I think we're going to get close to some Amityville. I think we're real close to wrapping up. If you don't count the ones that just throw the word Amityville on a random movie. Anyway, let's talk about the star of this movie because he's about to show up. As Jennifer Tilly leaves the studio, she's surrounded by the paparazzi, including Pete Peters, played by John Waters. And like Brian and I always quote this one scene. I actually texted him this line where she's like, "What happened in there?" And she's like, "What, do you want me to draw you a picture?" And he goes, "Yes, get this girl paper." John Waters is committing all the energy that you want from John Waters in this movie, and it is easily the most delightful scene. This is where Jennifer Tilly has decided that she needs to seduce Redman and able to get this role of the Virgin
Mary, which that is a funny joke. I mean,
there's a couple of funny jokes with that because then when she wakes up pregnant, Redman can't use her, and she's like, "But I'm pregnant. That makes me even more qualified." And he's like, "I have a specific vision for what my Virgin Mary looks like." Like it's pretty fucked. So Chucky and Tiffany make the decision, all right, so we're going to transfer our souls into Redman and Jennifer Tilly's body, and we have to get Jennifer Tilly pregnant so that she will give birth to a child that we can put in Glenda into that body. And this is where we see Tiffany's dolly boobies as she's trying to help Chucky get ready for masturbation, which I forgot that happened in this movie. That made me gasp.
A couple of bolt-ons right there, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that is the definition of what... I feel like in 2004, that is such fan service.
Yeah. After Bride, a few kids really wanted to see those doll boobs.
That's all they wanted to see them doll tatais.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Jennifer Tilly wakes up pregnant and she accuses Redman of doing something to her. But he confirms that he had a vasectomy as soon as he started to become famous just to avoid such a situation like this. And then he fires her. which leads to Tiffany cutting open his stomach so that his guts spill out onto the floor for being a misogynistic douche. Love that. Love the intestines on the ground. It's a good kill. They cut to Chucky and Tiffany sitting up in the attic, and he's like, "So we're just gonna hang out here for 6 months?" And Tiffany's like, "No, this was a voodoo pregnancy. It's extremely accelerated." And Jennifer Tilly wakes up fully 9 months pregnant at this point. Chucky ties her up, and they plan to have Chucky possess her chauffeur since Redman has been killed. This is where we get Glenda explaining that sometimes they feel like a boy and sometimes they feel like a girl. Everything seems to be going to plan, except that Jennifer Tilly's assistant shows up and is immediately killed by Glenda. It's revealed that Glenn is the pacifistic personality, while Glenda is the personality of the psychopath side from Chucky. And this is a pretty gnarly, Glenda comes running out of nowhere, grabs some spray, some aerosol spray and a lighter, and just lights this lady up as she falls. We get a charred corpse later on that we get a nice gnarly close up of. It is a pretty brutal set of kills for how limited they are. There's only a handful. I did miss something here. Beyond all that, also, Chucky and Glenda kill Britney Spears as well as John
Is that
Waters.
actually Britney Spears, by the way?
No, they found a phenomenal lookalike.
Okay. I watched that. I was like, I should check it out and see if she's in the IMDb. And I thought, Matt will just tell me.
Yeah, it's fine. Jennifer Tilly ends up giving birth to twins, and Tiffany realizes that Glenn and Glenda could both live their own separate lives through the two babies. Meanwhile, Chucky realizes, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to be human. I've got everything I've ever wanted to achieve. I'm a famous killer doll. The one and only. This is great. So Tiffany dumps him, and Chucky, just to kind of affirm I'm not going back to a human body, kills the chauffeur just to make sure that there's no body that he can be put into. The police arrive, and they take Jennifer Tilly to the hospital, where Tiffany attempts to once again possess her, but Chucky arrives to stop her. This is when Glenda finally snaps and kills Chucky with an axe, which Chucky loves. He's like, I'm so proud of you. And then we jump to 5 years later. It is now Glenn and Glenda's birthday. They've successfully possessed the two babies, and Jennifer Tilly is now raising them as her own. However, when a nanny quits because she's too scared of Glenda, that leads to Jennifer Tilly snapping and beating her to death. And it's then when it's revealed to us that Tiffany actually did succeed in possessing her idol's body. Lastly, Glenn opens up a birthday present that he's received, and there's a severed Chucky arm in it that leaps out at his throat. The end.
It's just so silly and messy.
It's so frantic and messy.
It's frantic for sure.
It feels like, especially as you're, sometimes it's a blessing to be the one that has to write the plot summary, because at a certain point you realize, dear God, this movie bit off more than it could chew. It starts, I agree with you, Scott. It starts real fucking strong.
Yeah.
There's such a strong beginning point, and then I think here's your simple solution to the whole fucking movie, honestly, is that it got so into the gender dysmorphia, gender fluid side of it, that they got kind of pigeonholed into well, how do we solve where shit-faced puts his soul if they're trying to possess human bodies, versus if they just were Jennifer Tilly has twins. Just from the start of the movie, Jennifer Tilly, the actress, has twins. There's no need to make her pregnant. She already has the babies. What a perfect combination. We just have to get
it makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Also, we got
then you don't get Chucky jerking off ever.
That's true, and that was what audience had been begging for 4 movies. Was they desperately wanted to see that doll handle himself.
I don't like that there was shape within the hand in the silhouette. You know what I mean? There was girth in his hand, and I think that was a lot. But then you do have to differentiate between, the Barbie-esque doll of Glenda versus, Chucky's a real man doll. Yeah.
Well, they do establish in Bride of Chucky, before he has sex with Tiffany, he says, "You might not know this, but I am anatomically correct."
That's right. And then we get Tiff with at least the boobies.
Yeah.
In this one.
Listen,
so we're
dolls
learning.
have boobies normally. Hers had nipples, which
Hers
is
had
not
nipples.
the normal
Yes,
thing
thank you.
that
Yes,
happens.
yes.
She may have just gotten those tattooed on,
Yeah.
though.
I was going to say, the joke, honestly, I think the joke is funnier if she doesn't have nipples. Like, if she pulls down the shirt and it's just regular, random circle doll boobs, I think that's funnier. That's all Chucky needed.
Let's get back. Let's all get together and
Yeah,
rewrite.
Don,
Seed
call
of
us up.
Chucky.
We want to fix this movie for you.
We can fix you. With the 3 cis white men can fix
Yeah,
this.
we'll fix this for you.
Hello?
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together. We have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Put down that smartphone and listen to me. I'm Matthew Milligan, professional musician and lifelong Weird Al fan. Each week, I'm joined by professional podcaster and close personal friend Matt Kelly to take a dive off the deep end into the vast career of pop culture icon Weird Al Yankovic on our show, Weird Algorithm. Along with some very special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we tackle every song, every television appearance, and every bit of sketch comedy Al has produced in chronological order, covering the good old days of My Bologna and Eat It, the fun zone of Tacky and White and Nerdy, and everything in between. As we go, we're ranking the songs, albums, and music videos in the hopes of creating the ultimate guide to a career bigger than the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. So the next time you're having one of those days, stuck in a traffic jam, wondering why does this always happen to me, just kick off your sneakers and stick around for a while because we've got it all on Weird Algorithm, available wherever you get your podcasts. And now you know. Was that enough references?
I will say, though, that he is definitely righted the ship with Curse and Colt and the show. The Chucky show has been fantastic as well. But yeah, this is a... You know, I used to be like, people are too hard on this movie. And then I watched it, I'm like, this movie's perfectly fine, but it's definitely, there's a reason why it's the one I haven't watched. I've watched 3 more than I've watched this one.
Yeah.
And I think 3 is also pretty bad.
Hard on.
Nice. Nice.
So what would my double feature for this be? I'm glad you asked. I tried to dance around it a little bit. The double feature that you need to watch with this movie is Psycho. This movie is filled with Psycho analogies, including the POV shot, killing the mom in the shower. When he kills the dad, it's literally a recreation of the banister staircase fall from Psycho. The explanation of what is going on with the worst part of Psycho, which is a movie that is a 5-star great movie. The worst part of that movie is the last 5 minutes where they just bring in a random doctor to explain what a transvestite is for 5 straight minutes. So it definitely feels like it's in that same vein. Like, he not only is he pulling from the Ed Wood, Glenn or Glenda, he's also pulling from the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho, gender bend, cross-dressing killer thing as well. I was like, I'd never noticed that before. This was the first viewing where I'm like, there's a lot of Psycho in this, a lot of it. So that's my double feature. How about you guys?
Scott, what you got?
I'm going with Sleepaway Camp 2 because it's... I don't know. It'd be more fun and yet still not very culturally sensitive.
Do you remember the best line in that movie? Well, one of the best lines in that movie, Scott? Because I remember us talking about it when we covered
Tell me
it.
what you think it is.
It's when they're telling the story of what happened to Angela after the first movie into the second movie. And he's like, Angela was taken to a psychiatric hospital, but they said that she was okay, and they even gave her a sex change. And he goes, and our parents' taxes paid for it.
Yep, I remember that line very well. Vividly, even.
I'm like, man, how prescient that line was back then, and still hasn't aged a day, sadly. But Kyle...
I wrote down "Let My Puppets Come."
I have that on DVD. It's the only porn I own.
The only porn you
Which
need.
that makes so much sense. But my actual one would be Scream 3. I think
Okay.
the Hollywood
because
of it
it's
all.
about Hollywood.
Yeah,
It's about Hollywood,
yeah.
and it also does not live up to what it's trying to say in its messaging.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's all the same. It's all the same vibe. It's all the same like sort of fictional Hollywood that I think makes sense. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's what I'm
I
going with.
agree. You know what else? If you agree, let us know. Our socials, HMN Podcast on everything. Support the show by going to patreon.com/HMN Podcast and support the show by buying some merch, hmnpodcast.dashery.com. And now, guys, what have you listened to, watched, etc.? Hey, this was my pick. I
gonna
get to
start
go
with you.
first. There was a series on Netflix that I fucking loved called The Burrows. Did either of you
Oh.
check this out?
It's on our list to watch. Megan got a recommendation. She was like, "This sounds kind of spooky and fun." We just haven't gotten to it yet, but good.
It's fun. It's executive produced by the Duffers, but it's actually, I think, I have to double check, but I think the person who created it is the person who did was it Brand New Cherry Flavor or whatever,
and
that.
Also did something very bad is going to happen, right?
Yeah,
That's
stuff
the same
like
person, right?
Oh no, okay, never mind. Then that's the person that the Duffer Brothers produced for that
Okay,
show.
okay.
I forget who this person is, but it's good. It's very similar to so if Stranger Things was the Duffer Brothers doing putting their fingerprints on say E.T. I feel like this is very the Duffer Brothers doing their version of Cocoon and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So
That tracks.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's
I can see that from what I understand of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about a retirement home. People keep dying around this retirement home, but not a retirement home. Sorry, a retirement village. You have your own house. You live amongst your neighbors, but they discover, and this isn't spoiling too much, I won't say who, but one of the friends in this neighborhood goes to his friend's house at night for advice and sees that a giant spider-like creature is standing over top of his friend, sucking something out of his mouth, and then his friend is found dead the next morning. And it goes into this whole thing where they're trying to figure out, what are these creatures? Does this retirement community know about these creatures or not? Is there a giant cover up? And it opens up a lot of fun mysteries. It's very much helped by being 8 episodes that are 40 to 50 minutes long. I'm not saying that this is going to be the greatest show ever, but I had Barb and I knocked it out in 2 days. We were this was just a fun, easy watch. It's definitely more, I would say it's more Cocoon than something specifically horror. You know what I mean? It's a little bit
I
more
got
of
the
that.
vibe that it was horror adjacent. That's not bad.
Yes.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah. Listen, and the creatures look pretty cool. Obviously they're CGI for most of it, but their CGI can be good. I just don't like when CGI is shitty, and I know that they could have done a practical effect that was better. But this one, I'm nah, this makes sense. They got these little fucking things crawling in and out of small spaces. I could see why CGI might be a little bit more useful in that
too
sense.
much, man. Are you sure you're not giving away too much?
I'm not giving away too much. That's all I'm going to say. That's the end of it. Enjoy it. Great cast. And yeah, everyone's putting on an acting clinic in it. It's one of those shows where if it wasn't sci-fi horror adjacent, I would expect that at least 2 or 3 of the cast members would get Emmy nominations, but I'm sure that they will maybe one of them might get a Golden Globe nomination somewhere down the line, and that's about it. But that's all I got. What about you guys?
I'll go next. Similarly to you, Matt, I watched I'm a year late, but Love, Death, and Robots Collection 4. So it's season 4, but they call them collections, which I actually like because they're not connected with any sort of storyline tissue in it at all. And it was fun. It feels popcorn to me. I don't feel blown away like I did the first season. But what I wanted to bring up is Spider Rose, which I believe is episode 2, or it's the second one in it. I watched it and I enjoyed it. I kind of saw what was going to happen. Did you guys watch the last season?
I don't think I've ever watched this show. I watched one of the episodes for Christmas 365 because there was a Christmas episode at one point. And I liked it. I liked what it was. I just never... It was like one of those things where maybe I'll put it on my list. I think it was one of those things where I was like, this actually seems pretty fun. And then I just never went back to it.
Yeah, the first two collections are really great. I think the third collection is fine, and this one is fine as well. But
I just love
Spider
the concept.
Rose
I think that's like my biggest thing about it, and but that's also the daunting. Like it's not daunting. It actually should be easier. But there's something about wanting to see the whole collection, right? Like taking the time to. I mean, it's like any TV show.
Well, you could watch 2. You could watch 4. You could watch 6 episodes, and they're not connected.
Like 10, 15 minutes a piece or something like that?
Some are 8 minutes, some are 20. Yeah. There's no time constraint as long as they're relatively short. I mean, they get a little bit... Oddly, they get a little bit old when they hit the 20-minute mark. I think that the format really... I think it just puts you in the mindset that you've only got like a 10-minute window to tell a story, and I love that. Yeah. So when they are a little bit more verbose, I'm like, get on
I think
party.
I think that's with a lot of anthology shows. Like, that I love the Twilight Zone. The season of the Twilight Zone where they went from 30-minute episodes to hour-long episodes is unwatchable because it just doesn't, like, those stories don't work in an hour-long format. They work because they're like these quick 25-minute punchy build up, set up tension, give you the release and be done with it. But when it's like 40 minutes of tension before the twist, you're like, I'm just fucking bored now.
Yeah. I mean, and then that's when you have to do like, give me the twist in the first 20 minutes and then have a second twist later. But anyway, so Spider Rose, I just want to mention this. I watched it. I enjoyed that episode, and I was just, I typically will press like go to the next episode. But I was watching, I wanted to see who wrote it because I was interested. It was based on a short story by Bruce Sterling, who I read. He's a dystopian sci-fi author that I read a bunch of his stuff in high school. And this was from a collection from the 80s. I guess it was originally published in some sci-fi magazine in like 82. And they made some significant changes to the ending of the story. But I'm very excited to read that because I haven't read any Bruce Sterling in a long time, and I remember really digging his stuff back in the day. So just thought that was an interesting little meander as far as I love when genre writers get a little bit more of like a resurgence based on their, like a newer medium pulling from that material. So that was pretty cool. I hadn't thought about him in years, like decades.
Love that.
That's really cool.
How about you, Kyle? Take us out.
I mean, I've been listening to a ton of new music, so I will just shout out this one album from a band called Lip Critic, who I had never heard, but my friend Parker suggested them to me. It's an album called Theft World, and it is excellent. It's like a electro punk, sort of like no wave, really driving. I don't want to say experimental, but just it's non-traditional in this way, and I just think that like music is really exciting right now, particularly punk music, and sort of the variations that come off of that. Because like the same way that when you used to say rock, it still means a lot of different things. Punk is the same thing. Like there's so many branches, and to still sort of be like, but punk is also more of like a concept than like a genre. So having this style that was still exciting and the instrumentation was really interesting, like it just kept catching me by surprise. It was like Liars and Idols and Squid meets Death Grips. Some people that might mean something to you, that might not, but very like early 2000s New York punk. A lot of stuff like riding off of that, which I love. So that's Theft World by Lip Critic is an album I am really digging right now.
Hell yeah. Well, what I'm really digging is podcasting with my bros. So if you're digging that, make sure that you subscribe to Horror Movie Night to catch an episode every single week.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.